welcome to day 8 of my Ambilational Series, a series in which I teach ambitious women how to prioritize and nurture healthy, empowering relationships that help her grow and become everything that she desires to be. Now, for today's video, I am going to be specific with romantic relationships, romantic interests. You want to look for a guy who comes from a loving home. And I know this may not be ideal because not everyone comes from a healthy home. Like, that is not within your control as a child to determine what family you are born into. But here's what I mean. What I mean is, how does he behave with his family members? How does he treat his mom? How does he treat his sisters? Are there any unhealthy dynamics in his family? And if there are, what role does he play? And if he comes from an unhealthy home, what has he done to undo the damage? Because now this is where we take accountability. We do not get to choose the family we are born into, but we can take up the responsibility of healing from the wounds that have been inflicted on us by our family members. So if his family is not your ideal family, or you know that his family is toxic, is he actively healing? Is he in therapy? Is he doing any other forms of healing? If the answer is no, chances are he has learnt unhealthy patterns that he is going to continue with you in your relationship, whether you want to believe it or not. And it's going to be unintentional, because sometimes I feel like when people talk about being an unhealthy minded person, they feel like, oh, this person intentionally wants to harm me or hurt me. No, you are just simply repeating what you know, because you assume that the way you grow up is the way every other person grew up, and that's just how life is. So I'm sure you understand what I'm trying to say. And now, the thing is, as ambitious women, we need to prioritize getting into if marriage is what you want, marrying into a healthy, loving family that accepts you. Yes, you can dream that big, because as someone who grew up in an unhealthy home, you want to also break the pattern by being with someone whom his family also already loves and accepts you. But if that is not possible, then go for the guy who is healing from the things that his family has done to him. And so this may or may not be the last video in this Ambilational series, but I'll see you in my next video. Bye.